Thanks for joining us for another edition of Weekend Winners, proudly brought to you by One Equine for the equine athlete. And what a night we've got ahead of us on Saturday night. It's QBred Triad Finals night. We've got pacers and trotters stepping out, several Group 1 features. It's a star-studded program. There's a lot on offer. Really looking forward to it. The first of 10 races scheduled to start at 5:19. In this edition of Weekend Winners, we're going to catch up with leading drivers Pete McMullen and Shane Graham. Triad night at Albion Park Saturday night. We go straight to the best in Pete McMullen. He's got a good book of drives, as you would expect. This has been a good race night for the stable in recent years, and he's with us now. Pete, appreciate the time.
No worries, Chris.
This is a special race night, in particular for your stable, and probably more so for the future. Now that you've established Somerset Farms with your wife Chantel, QBred race night is a very important race night.
Yeah, definitely. It was, a few years back we sort of decided this is sort of the night that you want to be sort of featuring on, so we sort of elected together Way of the Babies, and so far it's all going quite well, and it keeps expanding, so fingers crossed it's just the beginning.
Okay, the first of the Group 1 features Saturday night, 3-year-old colts and geldings. The stable have 3 runners here, Teddy Turpin, Attachment, and Delhi Row. You're driving Attachment. First of all, was it a difficult choice to make of the trio?
Yeah, it was tough. Obviously Teddy Turpin had the great draw there. It was tough to pick off him, and and then you've got Attachment and Delhi Row. Both horses are going really well, and I ended up just letting Chantel pick, and obviously she was more than happy to drive Delhi Row, so I was left with Attachment then.
Okay, it's an even field, and the barrier draws sort of played its role as well. So no real standout. I think we're looking at Balboa Rock as the early favourite, but it looks really open.
Yeah, definitely. These bunch of 3-year-olds have been, very open all the way through their, 2-year-old year and 3-year-old year, and it's hard to find a standout, and it really comes down to draw and trip, and unfortunately Saturday we've got some pretty ordinary draws there at the back, but we just got to rely on trip now.
Okay, they come out of a recent trial together, Attachment and Delhi Row. Ella Street was in that trial as well. How did you sort of grade your pair, Attachment and Delhi Row?
Yeah, we were super happy with the pair of them. It was just the perfect workout, just what they wanted, and it was just to make sure they, they were still on track. Obviously, they came out of the Derby, so they probably didn't race great there, but they're on target for this, so everything's a-okay, hopefully.
Okay, are you wanting speed and good pressure throughout in this race?
Yeah, I think ideal world it'd be good to have plenty of pace on the front, but. Because if there's not, we're probably going to have to go and create it. So, we'll just have to wait and sort of see and just hope it pans out for us. Okay.
Is there one that stands out above all others, in your opinion, for this race, or do you think it is fairly even?
Oh, I think it's very even. I think, if the Ella Street turns up, that was at Redcliffe on Derby night there, he'd be definitely hard to beat. But, in recent trials, it was sort of had his measure, so it's sort of, it's hard to get a real good gauge across them all.
Okay, just those 3 off the front row. Balboa Rock, no doubt he's going to strip fitter after that defeat last week. Bronski Zulu, the horse that beat him, he was really impressive. He's a horse you know well. And Mullum Hanks on the improve as well. Do you rate those horses?
Yeah, actually, Bronski Zulu really caught me eye last week. He's, he's a horse that, early in his career showed a lot of potential, and probably just flattened out. He had a bit of a flat spot there, but, the recent change of stables probably just sort of, sparked up a little bit, and he's got a bit better each week, and last week he was very eye-catching.
Okay. Of the trio, is there one over another in your opinion? Is Delhi Row 1 and then Attachment 2, or it just comes down to luck?
I do think Delhi Row is probably a better horse. He's probably faster and a little more versatile, but Attachment when he turns up, he's pretty good, but he doesn't always turn up.
Okay, well that's the 3-year-old colts and geldings. What about the 3-year-old fillies here, race 4? I think most were probably expecting Everard Riley Rainbow to dominate this division. Barrier draws made it really interesting now. Everard's drawn the inside of the second row, and your filly Riley Rainbow has drawn out. So how do you sort of rate this field?
Yeah, obviously I thought the top 4 that went straight through, they were sort of probably the standouts of this division, and the barrier draws have made it interesting, so it'll be interesting to sort of see how it all plays out. We're really happy with our filly, and hopefully she's can get the best trip on the night. So I suppose that's up to me though.
Yeah, well, she is the defending champ. She won the 2-year-old final last year. So with barrier 6, in your opinion, can she spear out and lead this field?
If we want to, I'm sure she can. She got blistering gate speed, and not only is she really quick off the gate, but she comes straight back to you and you can put her, back on the bridle very easy. So, it's just a matter of sort of summing up and working out where we want to be in the run.
Would you want to be in front?
Oh, I'd love to be in front, but if it comes at a high price, or maybe not.
Okay. Everard, does that make it a little bit more tricky now that she's drawn the inside of the second row?
Yeah, it's probably for us. It's probably if you wanted her to have a gate, it's probably the gate we would have liked her to have. It's probably not her ideal gate, so it probably makes it a little bit easier for us. But obviously, she's a very good filly and rated very highly, so got to really respect her.
Okay. With Riley Rainbow, throughout the constellations, were you just a little disappointed with the efforts, or were there excuses?
A little bit of both. Redcliffe, I thought her performance was excellent at Redcliffe. Her half was super. Was nearly as good as RB Mickey, and I thought moving forward after that, she was unlucky in the Queensland Sun. I think she ran last, but went line hard held. The Southeast Oaks, she was wide and probably just a bit plain, but the Queensland Oaks, even though she, on paper looked perfect and she had the perfect trip, her sectionals are really good, and she got beat by some great fillies, so it was probably hard to say she'd go in there and beat those fillies.
Okay. Well, that's the 3-year-old fillies. What about the 2-year-old fillies? This looks like it's going to be a very entertaining clash here. Cool and classy, high-quality filly. And your filly just keeps improving each and every time she steps out. They've drawn gates 1 and 8, so Cool and Classy 1. You're directly behind her. Is that A-OK in your opinion, that barrier draw setup?
Oh, I suppose we could settle for that. To be honest, I was a little disappointed when the barrier draws come out. Really rate Cool and Classy very high, and once she drew 1, it just looked like it was sort of game over, and no other filly has a chance of winning. But it's a horse race, and anything can happen. So, you just never really know. And I suppose we've got the next best draw following us. So, we're in it, and our filly's getting better all the time. So, I think we've still got a shot. Okay,
if you flip the draws and you had 1 Cool and Classy drawn 8, how big of a difference in the mindset would there be?
Oh, I think it would have been much better. I think it would have certainly made us think a bit, in the run. But I think it would have made it harder for Cool and Classy to win, which would have definitely given us a better chance.
Okay, in your opinion, has she got the speed to lead Cool and Classy?
I think so, but we haven't really seen her get burnt too hard early. But she's just such a classic filly, and she seems like she's just got every sort of box tick. So I think she's definitely the horse to beat and clear standout for mine.
Okay, if she is in front, do you think there's going to be good consistent pressure, or do you think it becomes a little bit of a walk in the park in that second split?
Oh, possibly a bit of a back off through the middle, but I don't think Grant will go too slow with her. I think she's classy enough filly that she can sort of still bowl along and still crack some great sections at the back end of the race. But as she did in the Proto Star, I think her half was better than the winner. So yeah, it's pretty scary.
Yeah. How do you rate your filly, though? She's beautifully bred. She's by Captain Treacherous out of Washington Lass. As the season is getting longer, she seems like she's getting better. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, we rated her really high early in the year, and she come to the Green Trails there, and she was really impressive, and we're really happy with her. And then she just got sick, and we probably pressed on through the breeders there when she probably wasn't 100%. And she did come out and win the Breeders' Consolation, but she wasn't at her best, and she had a bit of a break, and she's come back from that, and she has sort of come back a bit better. So she's sort of back to where we sort of thought she could be, and if it probably take Cool and Classy out of this race, I think she'd be a very, very high chance, and probably hard to beat then.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about the boys now. The more I look at this field, the deeper it gets. This is a good quality field. The stable have got the 2 runners. Our Sweet Delight, Utterly Sweet. Our Sweet Delight. I know you rate this guy. This is his grand final on Saturday night, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Obviously, you sort of plan these races out a long way out, and so far it's all worked out pretty good. So hopefully we can get through this week as well and so far everything seems to be going okay, so fingers crossed we can just sort of keep getting through the week okay, and it all works out well.
Okay, so he's aiming for the double, the Breeders' Classic Triad double. Barrier 3, were you happy with that?
I think it's as good as draw you could probably get. You know, I do rate the ones inside of us as well, though, so that's you know, sort of a little bit tricky to work out where he's going to be. But I don't think it matters too much, and you know, I think it's just a matter of trying to stay close and go from there. And you know, it's a very very competitive race. This one, it's probably the strongest triad I've sort of seen in recent years. There's no standout at all. There's probably 8 colts that could win this race, and the other 2 probably could with even luck as well. So yeah, it's a very good field all the way through, and you know, fingers crossed we've got the best one on Saturday night.
Okay, so that being said, do you want to be the hunted or do you want to be the hunter from Gate 3 with our Sweet Delight?
Either or, I'm not too worried, but you know, I'll just sort of see how it plays out in the early stages, and I don't want to commit to going forward or taking cover, so we'll just sort of work it out. And you know, I thought Fire Raiser's trial last week was exceptionally good, so I thought it possibly may have been looking to hold the lead, so it makes it a little bit tricky, so we'll just have to sort of work it out at the start.
Sorry, I was going to say, were you happy with that victory there of our Sweet Delight, fresh up off the break? Were you happy with what he did that night?
Yeah, 100%. He was, you know, that's the happiest we've been with him. He, you know, we knew he'd be great off a helmet, and he sort of proved it there. But you know, just his manners are really good, and his sectionals are really good too. So, you know, we were super happy with him there, and we think he's sort of, you know, come on really well. So, hopefully everything's perfect for Saturday.
All right. Utterly Sweet, on the other hand, he's flying under the radar. He was really good last week taking that heat. How do you sort of assess him?
Yeah, he's a cool little colt. You know, he's just got better all the throughout the year, and I actually think he's going to be quite a nice horse next year. His manners are there, everything's there. He's just sort of probably a little bit little at the moment, and probably a bit of time, and he'll sort of you know, grow up and be able to match it with the big boys. Okay,
he was strong last week, so is that a little part of his game that he is improving, that he is getting stronger?
Yeah, I think so. You know, I think he's got it all there, and I'm sure in time to come he's going to sort of show how good he can be. And yeah, I think he's just going to be a horse that gets better and better throughout his whole career. Okay,
4-year-old Entires and Geldings final, the Tax Collector, 2 off the second row. Where's he at right now?
Who knows really? He's up and he's down, and he's got me puzzled. But you know, fingers crossed he's got his A game here on Saturday night, because when he brings it, he's definitely a chance, but doesn't always bring it. So hopefully it's here Saturday night.
All right. Well, it's a tough race, this one, because we're unknown with For Real Life. Ragazzo Di Tilly going well, but just having no luck with draws. Free Thinker's got a tricky draw. So the Tax Collector, if he brings his best, he should be competitive here.
Oh, I think he'd be competitive, but yeah, you know, those 3 horses, you know, For Real Life, maybe down in form a little bit at the moment, but he's you know, he's definitely a very classy horse, so you can't sort of knock him. And Free Thinker, he's just got better and better this whole carnival, and even last week he ran 3rd, but his run sectionally was, you know, huge, so he's right in it. And Ragazzo Di Tilly, I think he went his last mile on 50 and change his last start there, so you know, he's racing super, so there's 3 very good horses there, and you know, if we could just be up with him, we'll be going pretty good, I think.
Okay. You've picked up the drive on Sweet and Spicy in the 4-year-old mares. Is she some sort of place hope here?
Yeah, probably some sort of chance there. It's not overly sort of, it's a very even sort of race, I suppose, and yeah, definitely got a chance for some minor spoils.
All right, in the last race, I'm keen to get your thoughts here. Lay Down Luna, last start winner. Have you and Chantel timed this to perfection with this mare and the way this race has sort of come together? Is she now the horse to beat here?
Oh, yes and no. I think you know, she's still probably a little inexperienced, which, you know, possibly could bring her unstuck. But she definitely is improving all the time, and yeah, we've got a bit of time for her, and I think she will continue to get better as her career goes on. But you know, these 2-year-old trotters, they can be a bit tricky. It's sort of the best manners win the race, and yeah, you know, it's not always the best horse. So hopefully she just brings her manners there on Saturday night, which, touch wood, so far she's been pretty good. So you know, if she can come and behave and race well, we'll be happy. But you know, she's just sort of always improving. So fingers crossed it all works out.
Has she improved with her work since that last start victory?
Yeah, I think so. She had a bit of an ease up and then sort of come back, and she had a trial there a few weeks ago. We would have liked to give her another trial, but trials were cancelled. But yeah, all is going well, so fingers crossed it all works well.
All right. Which drive are you looking most forward to this weekend?
Oh, look, it's a tricky sort of night, and you know, it's hard to sort of know. I'm looking forward to Riley Rainbow probably the most. I think she's probably the easiest of my drives, but you know, all least pressure maybe. Don't know which way to look at it.
We'll take the tip. Race 4, number 6, Riley Rainbow. As always, Pete, really appreciate the time. Best of luck to you and Chantel Saturday night. Hopefully there's some Group 1 glory just around the corner.
Cheers. Thanks, Chris.
Shane Graham now joins us to go through his book of drives for Saturday night. Triad night. Shane Graham is a 10 times Group 1 winner. A lot of those Group 1 victories have come on this night. QBred Triad final night. He joins us now. Shane, appreciate the time.
Not a problem, Chris.
This is a special race night, not only for you, but for the entire industry.
Yeah, that's right. You know, like it's our sort of main, you know, for our QBred horses and that. And I'm sure everyone, you know, these are the nights you want to perform on. All
right, last year you tasted Group 1 glory with Quick Change. Let's start with race 3. 3-year-old Colton Gelding's here. Bronski Zulu. He's right in the calculations here. He was awesome winning his heat last week.
Yeah, he was. He had to do a lot of work in that, and it was a solid tempo. So I think, yeah, like even over the whole carnival, he sort of held his own, you know, and he was in much stronger company. So, yeah, look, he'll still need, you know, a little bit of slice of luck his way, but, yeah, on his heat run, he'll be right there.
You've driven him a lot, you've raced against him a lot, but did he surprise you with that performance last week?
Yeah, he sort of, you know, he's probably lost a bit of his high speed and gained a bit of toughness, I think. So, and I think that showed last week.
Okay, so with gate 4 on the weekend, do you want to get aggressive early? Do you want to try and make a play for the lead? Do you want to hold that position outside the leader?
Yeah, look, I you know, without speaking to connections, I'd imagine from the draw we've got to go forward and use it, and you know, the main rivals are off the back as well as inside of us, so you know, we've probably got to make the most of our draw. It's
a deep race, isn't it? You can make a case for quite a few in this field.
Yeah, it is, you know, and you know, it'll probably come down to whoever gets the best trip. So, you know, that's why we've probably got to be mindful and not doing too much. But, yeah, no, it's a strong field.
Yeah, and the way the barrier draws unfolded, it certainly evens out the race as well.
Yeah, it has.
Okay, so that's Bronski Zulu, race 3. What about race 4, 3-year-old fillies? Hay Bale Hustler, also a heat winner last week, trained by your dad, Wayne. Is this filly coming right at the right time?
Yeah, look, she went better, and I think she's still, you know, probably another 12 months off her best. But, you know, she is improving, but, yeah, look, you know, I can't see her repeating the heat performance.
Okay, the two big guns here are Everard and Riley Rainbow, and when you look at their draws, it's not going to be easy for them. Everard inside of the second row, Riley Rainbow wide off the front row. So did that sort of give you some sort of hope here?
Oh, you know, like probably I would have been happy with one still, but I think those two fillies have got a bit of class, and, you know, even from the draws, you know, if you're beating them home, you'll be going close to winning it, I'd say.
Looking at last week's heat here, you were able to ride the pylons with Hay Bale Hustler. Is that an option again with this draw?
Yeah, look, you know, we're going to have to still have a soft trip, you know, just to get into the minor place money. So, you know, like we'll have to work forward, but still have to get soft trip.
Okay, and just looking back at that replay, she was strong over the last furlong. Were you happy with the way she ran through the line?
Yeah, look, she was as strong at the finish as what she was probably at the 400. I think she's, you know, she mightn't have a real high turn of speed, but she can hold her speed. So, you know, like for her, the quicker they go, the better it'll be for her.
Okay. Race 5, Group 1 2-year-old fillies final. Cool and Classy is a clear favourite. Your drive is the Talk Effect. A filly by Captain Crunch. She's won 3 of her last 4. Can she trouble Cool and Classy, in your opinion?
No, not from the barrier draws, you know. Like, with them fillies coming up with 1 and 8, and you know, Cool and Classy, she went just enormous in with the Protostar. So yeah, look, we needed the draws to be better our way, but you know, I'm sure we're looking at a place chance.
Okay, so what were you hoping for? 1 or 8, obviously, for your
much.
filly. Yeah, righto. Cool and Classy, she's got the speed to lead, doesn't she, from the inside?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay, do you have a look early?
Yeah, look, you still got to go forward. You know, they're 2-year-old races and anything can happen. So, you know, she got off the gate good, so we'll still go forward. But, yeah, look, we need to have a pretty soft trip.
Okay. Out of the 2 victories from her past 2 starts, which was better, last week or 2 starts ago?
Yeah, it's hard to say. Probably last week. You know, she's a big green filly. Like, she doesn't even know what she's doing yet. 2 starts ago, she was looking all the way down the straight and just forgot to keep racing. So she just got there, and then last week, same thing. She sprinted up nice for the first 200 of the last quarter, but the last 200 she was a bit stargazing and that. So, you know, I don't think the penny's fully dropped with her yet, but she's improving.
Okay. Race 6 for the 2-year-old Colts and Geldings. This is a deep final, this one. This is going to be the race of the night. Yeah,
I think so. You know, the way, you know, you can make a case of pretty much the whole field, I think, you know. So, yeah, it'll all come down to speed and luck and running.
You drove 2 of the heat winners last week, Brave and Treacherous and the Torque Majority. You've elected to drive the Torque Majority. Was that easy, or did you have to give that a fair bit of consideration?
Oh, look, probably it was easy. Like, you know, that probably got a soft spot for that whole family, Torque Majority, after having raced the mare and that. So, you know, it was probably always going to lean that way. But, look, you know, whoever probably did draw 1 was going to be hard to beat, but the way the barrier draws have come, you know, it's an open field.
Okay, well, let's talk about the Torque Majority firstly. You know this family really well. He's still green, he's still immature, but last week taking the heat, you were forced to park out. Was that the type of run he needed going into a final like this?
Yeah, look, I don't think it'll knock him about. You know, he's high speed like the whole family, but he's probably got a lot more stamina than the family. So, you know, last week he showed that, and each of his wins, he's done it sort of in different ways. So, he's not like just a one-trick pony. He can, you know, you can drive him to how the race suits. But, yeah, look, I still think he's got, you know, improvement in him. He still doesn't fully know what it's about yet. You know, he's just doing this on his raw ability.
Okay, so in any sort of way, shape or form, does that victory last week switch him on a little bit more given how it unfolded?
Yeah, look, I think he's, you know, even 2 starts ago compared to last week, you know, he was switched on a bit more. So I'd imagine, you know, that's going to switch him on a little bit more again, hopefully.
All right, Brave and Treacherous. He was sharp in his own right last week taking that heat. He's a speedy colt.
He is, you know, he's a bit the same. He, you know, he's still learning what it's all about. But yeah, last week he done that quite well and within himself. So, you know, if he gets runs to, you know, run to suit, he's definitely within a shot too. Because yeah, he's got speed and he's got a bit of stamina about him.
How much pressure do you think this race will generate?
Yeah, look, you know, the way the barriers are, you know, I'd imagine there would be speed on, like. You know, they're, yeah, it's $150,000 race, so, you know, you don't want to go home wondering, so I'd imagine there will be a fair bit of tempo on early.
Yeah, it's a cracking race, no doubt about it. What about race 8, the 4-year-old mares? Your driver's Bronski Delight. Her numerical form doesn't read all that great, but she's dropping back in grade. Could she be a little bit of a sleeper here?
Yeah, I think that's sort of, you know, fair enough. Yeah, she isn't racing out of best. You know, out of best, you'd be quite confident. But, yeah, it probably is a drop down in grade for what she's been racing, probably the last 3 or 4 months. So, you know, generally mares like that, when they do get a drop back, it definitely helps.
Yeah, well, just looking at her rating, I think there's only 2 mares rated above her, Jewel Melody and Girl from Rosedale. So, under the rating, she's right in here.
Yeah, that's right. You know, like you said, you know, there's probably, you know, 3 or 4 chances in it, but yeah, at her best, she's right up there.
All right, race 9, 3-year-old trotting final, Phoenix Red up from Victoria. Looked good in a recent trial. What did you feel in that trial?
Yeah, look, he done it quite well. He's the same. I don't think he's really, you know, that was the first time he'd seen the tape, and touch wood, he seemed to handle it quite well, but, you know, they are trotters, so, but, yeah, he looks like, yeah, if he holds it together at the start, he could run a cheeky race.
Okay, the clear favourite is My Alderman Sonny. He won the recent Derby during the Carnival. If you land behind him, is he a really solid place hope?
Yeah, I think so, you know, like the favourite's probably in the same boat, you know. He's only seen the tape once too, so, you know, it all comes down to the start, this race pretty much, really.
All right, in the last race, 2-year-old trotting final, Monterey Lass, 4 starts. She's been placed in all 4. She got the win last time out. How much confidence does she get from that victory?
Yeah, look, I think, you know, you can probably see most starts she's improved, so she's still on the way up and still improving, you know. Probably the only downside is so's half the field, really. They're all on the way up, seem to be going better every time they go out. So, yeah, look, touch wood at this stage, she stepped away and done everything right. So if she can just do that again, you know, manners seem to win these races.
Has she trained on since that last start victory?
Yeah, she has, you know. She'll, yeah, I think she'll go a little bit better again like she's done each start.
All right, it's a good book of drives for you on the weekend. Which one are you most looking forward to?
Yeah, look, it's, yeah, we'll say Bronski Zulu. Hopefully he starts the night off on a good note.
All right, race 3, number 4, Bronski Zulu. Shane, as always, appreciate the time and we'll see you trackside.
No worries, thank you.
A big thanks to both Pete and Shane, wishing the guys the very best of luck as they chase Group 1 glory, like many others on Saturday night. So it's a special night this Saturday night, starting at 5:19. Now, as far as a best bet is concerned, I think a lot of those Q-Bred Triad finals are quite difficult. There's a few where there's short price favourites, Cool and Classy, My Alderman Sonny. The other races look really difficult, so I'm going to strike early. Race 1, number 9, Royal Cruiser. Now, this is a 3-year-old that's in good form, aiming for the hat-trick of victories. He's set to return back into Sydney next week. He's got the Breeders' Challenge Series coming up down there, and he can return in good form. I see no reason why he can't win again. Second row draw, not ideal, but he's going really well. He's got good confidence. Stick with him. Race 1, number 9, Royal Cruiser, marking him as the best bet for trainer-driver Bernie Hewitt. We'll see everyone trackside Saturday night. Remember, if you are gambling this weekend, please do so responsibly. The first of 10 Triad night, just after 5 o'clock.